Hare Krishna. Expand your horizons in vision, but contract them in implementation. Nowadays, people talk about expanding their horizons, to think big, to aim for great achievements. Now, that is all very good, and the Bhagavad Gita itself takes the idea of expanding our horizons to a new level, which most people don't talk about. The Bhagavad Gita expands our horizons beyond the material level to the spiritual level. Generally, when people talk about expanding their horizons, no matter how much their expansion is, it is usually at the material level, where people think you can become wealthier, you can become stronger, you can become better materially in various ways than what you are right now. But no matter how good we become materially, everything is finished in the time of death. The Bhagavad Gita asks us to expand our horizons beyond the material level itself by understanding our identity as souls and realizing and relishing eternal happiness at the level of the soul. That is our nature as spiritual beings. So, right from the second chapter where Bhagavad Gita introduces the concept of the soul, it moves onwards talking about spiritual happiness and spiritual perfection. And in the sixth chapter, it describes the stage of samadhi from 6.20 to 23, wherein it describes the highest yogic perfection, the mystical experience of the highest transcendental reality, which fills us with unlimited happiness. Sukhamatyantikam yattad buddhigrahayamati indriyam vetti yatra chaivayam sitaschalati tattvataha yam labdhva chaparam labham manyate nadhikam tataha yasmin sthito dukkhena gurunapi na vichalyate. So it says that Sukhamatyantikam yattad, it is the ultimate happiness, and is experienced with intelligence beyond the senses. And this happiness is such that after we gain it, yam labdhva chaparam labham, once having got it, we feel that there is nothing more to be obtained. The aparam labham, nothing more to gain. And one feels completely satisfied by this. So now the idea of realizing ourselves as souls and perceiving the supreme spiritual reality, Krishna, directly face to face and experiencing the highest happiness, this is all very inspiring, but then it is very lofty. We may sometimes feel, I sometimes get doubts whether the soul exists or not. I sometimes get doubts whether God exists or not. This seems so far away. So what can I do? So immediately after raising our horizons to the summit of spiritual perfection, the Bhagavad Gita soon comes down to the level of very basic practical implementation. So 2 verses later it says, shanaih uparamed buddhya dhriti gruhitaya atma samstham manah kritva na kinchidapi chintayed. So shanaih uparamed, shanaih, that is slowly, step by step. Uparamed means check the engagement. Buddhya dhriti gruhitaya, with intelligence sustained by conviction. Fix the mind on the self. Atma samstham manah kritva. Fix the mind on the self. Na kinchidapi chintaye. Don't think of anything else. And here what Krishna says is shanaih uparamed. Slowly, step by step. Now this is very important, because if we think about how far we are right now from spiritual perfection, from spiritual perception, then we may feel that I will never get there. But all that we can do and all that we need to do is just focus on being in the present moment in spiritual consciousness. Shanaih uparamed. Just as a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step and it continues on with a single step. So similarly, we can come to the advanced stage of spiritual realization slowly, step by step. But right now, keeping our mind fixed on spiritual consciousness. if you start thinking that, oh, throughout my life I will have to be spiritually conscious, throughout my life I will have to battle material temptations, throughout my life I will have to maintain my faith in God, throughout my life I have to keep reminding myself that I am not the body, I am the soul. This will all seem very burdensome. And that's why when it comes to implementation, we need to contract our horizons. That means don't look too far ahead, just focus on the next step. Just focus on one step forward, one step forward, one step forward. Especially when cyclists are climbing, are riding uphill. Cyclists, and especially if it's a long and tiring climb, the cyclists are advised that don't look how far ahead the road goes and how much you have to climb. Just focus on paddling one round right now. Take one paddle right now, one paddle right now, one paddle right now. And then eventually you'll reach the mountain peak. So similarly, when we are to implement, we can focus on contracting our horizons. Instead of thinking of a whole lifetime of spiritual practice and letting ourselves be burdened by thinking about so many commitments that we have to have, focus on right now. Okay, what all do I need to do today? What all do I need to do in the next 1 hour? What all do I need to do right now? And we do that. And if we do that well, we will have the next moment, and in the next moment we can do what we need to do well. And in that way, we are taking steps forward, one step at a time, one step at a time, and we will cover the journey of 1,000 miles, indeed the journey of 1,000,000 miles, by Krishna's grace. Because when Krishna sees that we are sincerely trying to practice spiritual life, then he assures us in 18.767 that Tesham aham samudharta mrityu samsara sagarat bhavami na chirat partha maya veshita chetasam. Tesham aham samudharta, is I will deliver them. Who are they? Those who fix their mind on me. Mrityu samsara sagarat, from the ocean of birth and death. Bhavami na chirat partha, not after a long time, soon. Maya veshita chetasam, those who fix their consciousness on me. So this is what we focus on. Take one step at a time. Just try to chant the present mantra attentively. Just try to study and understand scripture right now. Just try to do whatever work we are doing in a mood of devotional service. And in this way, by contracting our horizons so that we focus right now on what we are doing, we will actually be able to realize the higher spiritual truths that have been introduced to us by the expansion of our horizons done through the philosophy. Thank you. Hare Krishna.